Cargo steps up preparation to receive Pfizer-BioNTech vaccine. MACC detains deputy chairman of a political party, 1.2 million ringgit of cash seized. Good afternoon, thanks for joining us. You're watching Updates at Noon with me, Azlani Adani. 13 more COVID-19 clusters have been identified in Malaysia yesterday, with 10 of them relating to workplaces. Health Director General Tan Sri Dr. Noor Hisham Abdullah said Selangor led the way with 5 new clusters, followed by 4 in Johor and 1 each in Terengganu, Negeri Sembilan, Kuala Lumpur and Sarawak. According to him, there are 499 active clusters yesterday, with the most cases coming from the Tanjung Suria cluster, 380 cases, Kebun Baru cluster, 186 cases, and Industri TTJ cluster, 141 cases. He added that 13 existing clusters also came to an end yesterday, with them being the Damai Ketari cluster, Senai Sabah cluster, Taman Sayong Pinang cluster, Beluka cluster, Sungai Burong cluster, Tampoi 5 cluster, Jalan Teruka cluster, Jalan Rami cluster, Udarama cluster, Tapak Bina Jalan Zurah cluster, Puncak Galaxy cluster, Dang Mutiara cluster and Kampung Geteng cluster. Malaysia recorded 2,998 new COVID-19 cases in the last 48 hours, with Selangor still accounting for the highest number of infections nationwide. Tan Sri Dr. Noor Hisham said 5,709 recovery cases were reported, bringing the cumulative number of patients who have recovered to 229,762, while the active cases tally stood at 41,396. There were also 22 more deaths, bringing Malaysia's COVID-19 fatalities to 1,005 people. MAB Cargo Sendirian Berhad Mas Cargo is intensifying preparations at the Advanced Cargo Centre ACC Kuala Lumpur International Airport KLIA to ensure the smooth and orderly handling of the Pfizer-BioNTech COVID-19 vaccine, which is due to arrive in Malaysia on Sunday. Mas Cargo Chief Operations Officer Muhammad Zulkifli Ujang, when met at the ACC yesterday, said the preparation to receive the vaccine is currently at 110%. According to him, Mas Cargo, which is tasked with coordinating the process of receiving the vaccine at KLIA, had conducted a series of training to ferry the vaccine at -70 degrees Celsius over the past 5 months to ensure the efficacy of the vaccine would not be affected.
Terbaru, pihak kami telah melakukan dry run pada hari Isnin yang lepas, di mana sampel shipment ini telah dibawa daripada Brussels hingga ke Kuala Lumpur untuk tempoh lebih kurang 4 hari, dan di sepanjang proses pemindahan itu pihak kami telah melakukan pemantauan temperature ataupun suhu, dan kami amat berpuas hati dengan hasil dry run tersebut, di mana suhu tersebut telah dapat dikekalkan untuk negatif 70 darjah sehingga kargo tersebut sampai di kargo terminal di Mas Cargo KLIA.
Muhammad Zulkifli said every worker on duty on that day to receive the vaccine had undergone a course on vaccine handling. He said Mas Cargo had the expertise in handling the vaccine because it had handled receiving numerous types of vaccines on a daily basis, besides having a complete facility. He also said that the only difference between these numerous types of vaccines is the temperature required for them. Felda Triang 3 in Bera, Pahang has been placed under the Enhanced Movement Control Order EMCO beginning today until 3rd of March. Senior Minister for Security Datuk Seri Ismail Sabri Yaakob said it will involve the Perumahan Kelapa Sawit and Taman Lambanda Permai areas, affecting 1,356 residents. He said the Health Ministry confirmed that 9 positive cases have been reported there, and until 16th February, some 79 close contacts live in these localities. In a statement, the Senior Minister said the MO SOHIH will conduct targeted screenings in the affected areas to ensure there are no further transmissions in the community. On standard operating procedures SOP violations, he said 569 people were compounded and 25 remanded yesterday. Among the violations include unpermitted inter-district or state crossings 127, not observing proper physical distancing protocols 144, failure to prepare customer registration tools 74, not wearing face masks 77, and leaving home without reasonable ground 77. Prime Minister Tan Sri Muhyiddin Yassin yesterday has sent a legal letter to UMNO Supreme Council member Datuk Dr. Muhammad Fuad Zarkashi demanding a public apology and a compensation of 10 million ringgit for allegedly defaming him through a Facebook post last week. In the letter of demand dated 16th February issued by Tan Sri Muhyiddin's lawyer Rosli Dahlan Saravana Partnership, the Prime Minister, among others, demanded Dr. Muhammad Fuad to unequivocally remove his posting on 9 February over quarantine statements from his Facebook page under the name Dr. Fuad Zarkashi. The letter signed by the Prime Minister's lawyer stated that the law firm was instructed to demand Dr. Muhammad Fuad to agree to provide an unequivocal public apology in respect of the post on terms to be dictated by the firm to be published prominently and immediately on his Facebook page. It is also to demand all news portals and social media that had posted the allegedly defamatory statements to also publish an apology and to provide a written undertaking to not repeat the publishing of similar or identical statements or those of a similar nature to the post in any manner whatsoever. Dr. Muhammad Fuad also has 7 days to remove the posting or the law firm will proceed with the legal action against him. A deputy chairman of a political party with links to a former minister has been detained by the Malaysian Anti-Corruption Commission (MACC) for allegedly awarding projects in exchange for kickbacks in 2019. In a statement, MACC confirmed that it has arrested the deputy chairman and 2 company directors believed to be his proxy and seized 1.2 million ringgit in cash. According to the statement, all arrests were made around Ipoh, Perak, and the cash was recovered from the former minister's proxy's house and the deputy chairman's office. MACC said the cash is believed to have come from several companies alleged to have acquired projects from a ministry in 2019. MACC also seized a luxury car believed to have been used by the former minister as his official car. Its belonging was traced to one of the company directors who allegedly was the recipient of the ministry's project. To date, MACC has frozen several companies' individual accounts amounting to 77 million ringgit as part of its ongoing investigation. MACC said the investigation is still ongoing and it hopes all parties will refrain from making any speculation and allow the investigation to take its course. Police have crippled a Ketum processing and distribution syndicate after detaining 9 individuals in a double-storey terrace house in Putra Perdana, Puchong on Monday. The suspects, aged 30 to 45, comprised 7 local men and an Indonesian couple, and they were nabbed in a series of raids. Sepang Police Chief ACP-1 Kamarul Azran Wan Yusof said police also seized 240 kilograms of Ketum leaves and 152 bottles of Ketum water in the raids.
Rampasan wang tunai yang dibuat adalah sebanyak RM12,325. Rampasan-rampasan lain yang kita buat adalah terdapat 3 dapur, yang mana dapur ni tujuannya adalah untuk memasak ataupun merebus daun ketum, 3 tong gas, 4 periuk. 4 periuk ni 2 untuk kapasiti 3 kg dan 5 kg, dan 1 penimbang. Dan nilai rampasan berdasarkan semasa adalah sebanyak RM5,000.
Speaking in a press conference at the Sepang Police Headquarters, he said of the 9 suspects, 2 tested positive for shabu and cannabis, while the other 2 have previous criminal records related to drugs. According to him, police carried out surveillance for 3 weeks in connection with the sale of ketum water, which had been in operation for almost 2 months. He said the syndicate had been supplying the local community around Subang Jaya, Puchong and Putra Perdana with ketum juice sold at RM20 per bottle and RM40 for ketum leaves. ACP1 Kamarul said 5 suspects have been remanded since Tuesday until Saturday, while the remaining 4 were released on police bail, adding that the case is being investigated under Section 30, Subsection 3 of the Poisons Act 1952. 5 senior citizens were among 14 men detained for alleged involvement in illegal cockfight gambling in a gated farmland at Taman Impiana Adril, Menglembu, Ipoh, Perak on Tuesday. Ipoh Police Chief ACPA Asmadi Abdul Aziz said the men aged between 25 and 71 were detained at 11:45 a.m. during an operation dubbed Op Limau conducted by the Ipoh IPD Operational Intelligence Team. He said in the raid the suspects failed to escape and police seized 5 fighting cocks, their cages, a digital alarm clock and 2 rolls of paper used to surround the cockpit. In a statement, ACPA Asmadi said cash amounting to RM25,078 and 4 chairs were also seized. He said initial investigations found the cockfight gambling had been ongoing for 5 rounds, each lasting 20 minutes, with the gamblers placing bets of between RM500 and RM1,000. ACPA Asmadi said the suspects were also compounded for violating the movement control order and have been detained at Jelapang and Pasir Puteh lockups. He said a remand application was made yesterday to facilitate the investigation under Section 7, Subsection 2 of the Common Gaming Houses Act 1953 and Section 3, Subsection 1, Prevention of Cruelty to Animals Act 1952. The Pahang state government has allocated RM9.4 million as cash aid for 18,726 victims affected by floods early this year. Menteri Besar Datuk Seri Wan Rosli Wan Ismail said the recipients comprising household heads who were evacuated to relief centre or relatives' house, as well as stall and shop house owners whose businesses were affected, will receive RM500 each. In addition, Datuk Seri Wan Rosli said the state government has also decided on a 3-month rental exemption to 27 household heads whose houses were destroyed or could not be occupied due to floods, with a total allocation of RM16,800. He said it was also agreed that a laptop to be donated to candidates sitting for the 2021 CJ Pelajaran Malaysia SPM as registered under the Bantuan Kanak-Kanak Pahang list. According to Datuk Seri Wan Rosli, in the State Executive Council meeting yesterday, it was also announced that the federal government, through the National Disaster Management Agency NADMA, has approved an allocation of RM4.3 million as compassionate aid to 8,600 households in the state. The floods in Pahang, which started on 3rd January and involved all districts except Cameron Highlands, had claimed 7 lives. The state fully recovered from the disaster on 20th January. The Federal Agriculture Marketing Authority Pharma is helping to sell Morris pineapple from Johor for as low as RM1 each to overcome the problem of dumping the fruits. Pharma Board of Directors member Dato' Ghazali Muhammad said the sale of pineapple at low prices was one of the steps taken by Melaka and Johor Pharma to help affected farmers get a fair return. He said 6,000 Morris pineapples were sold within 2 hours at the Johor Morris Pineapple Promotion Program held at the Farmers' Market in Jalan Arim in Jasin, Melaka. Besides, to address the issue of pineapple dumping, Pharma has also made market arrangements with local fruit wholesalers, small and medium industries and agro-based industry entrepreneurs for the preparation of kuih raya and biscuits. According to Dato' Ghazali, until last Monday, Johor Pharma had bought 118.17 tons of Morris pineapple worth RM60,207, and the supply was distributed to Melaka Pharma to be marketed in all of the agencies' network, including the People's Agro-Bazaar shops, Agro-Bazaar Rakyat, fresh fruit stalls and farmers' markets. To address this dumping issue, Pharma, in collaboration with the Malaysian Pineapple Industry Board (LPNM), also offers a market assistance initiative to affected farmers through the purchase of supplies and matching with canning factories. The KBS will submit a proposal for 151 other types of sports activities, including indoor, outdoor and water sports, to be given more flexibility. Its Minister Datuk Sri Rizal Naina American, through a Facebook post, said a KBS team has done its research and will suggest more sports activities, especially those that do not involve physical contact, to be brought to the National Security Council (MKN) Technical Committee meeting tomorrow. Elaborating further on the matter, Datuk Sri Rizal American said the announcement of the Conditional Movement Control Order (CMCO) and the Recovery Movement Control Order (RMCO) starting tomorrow would bring more flexibility to the sports sector, including the organisation of tournaments and activities that could further boost the sports industry. KBS will continue to convince the government to open more sports sectors in a safe manner and in phases during the implementation of the Movement Control Order. He added that efforts to fight the COVID-19 pandemic must continue and all parties must play a role in the sports community to strike a balance between their well-being and economic sustainability. The Minister, however, stressed that in the MCO areas that are still in force, namely Selangor, Kuala Lumpur, Johor and Pulau Pinang, only 10 types of sports are allowed in a limited and controlled manner as announced last week. Concludes today's edition of Updates at Noon. In our top story, Mas Cargo steps up preparation to receive Pfizer-BioNTech vaccine. Tune in to News at 10 coming up at 10 p.m. on saluran Berita RTM on My Free Views channel 123. You can also stream the news by surfing RTM's My Click. Thank you. I'm Azlan Yadani. Stay tuned to TV2. Goodbye for now.